Today we are talking about the new Blackbird Leviathan 1350 and 1400 from Sabfoil. Let's go! Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Gwen and today I'm going to talk about the new Blackbird series Leviathan 1350 and 1400 from Sabfoil. Pretty excited about those foils. I'm going to start with the 1350. The 1350, the original Leviathan 1350, was a huge part of my foiling progression. I really mastered like pumping with that foil, improved my pumping a lot. I learned how to do beach starts. I think it just gave me so much more practice. It's just so easy and forgiving that I'm going to start with the new version because I think it's a pretty incredible foil. And in my opinion, it's quite unique. There's not a lot of foils similar to this one out there. So we are going to start with this one. But first, check out wingfoilprocenter.com. All of the gear that I show in my videos is always available there. That's the shop. If you appreciate our videos, if you get values out of it, we appreciate the support through the shop. Let's go with the 1350 Leviathan Blackbird series. Essentially, when we compare it to the original 1350 Leviathan, the main difference is that it's a thinner profile, so it lost a bit of volume, so it's going to be a bit faster, a bit more efficient, and just enough, because it's a really fine line between making it very efficient and lose a lot of its, user friendliness, easy. Make it like a foil that like is a pleasure to learn new tricks with. So it just like keeps that same feeling of a foil. You can step on it, you can learn pump foiling, you can learn beach start, and it's gonna be just like super easy. It's the same outline. The front wing has been brought a bit closer to the mast. So again, there is a bit of a gain in pumping efficiency, and it's gonna help a little on how much stress it puts on the mast. But then you have the Blackbird connection, so it just gives it like a cleaner water flow right here, more direct contact with the mast, connection with the mast, and then you just have like your tail connection in the back. You can swap any stab that you already have. This is the 325, that's the one it comes with. And then in terms of the length, I think it's pretty similar to the setup that came with the original 1350 Leviathan when you would get the 663 fuselage. When I first stepped on it, the new Blackbird 1350 Leviathan, it was with a beach start, and I had not done a beach start in a long time, and I was like, I hope it's not going to take me too long. And really, pretty much didn't miss any from the first one I tried, just because it was so familiar, it was so easy, so stable. I just felt like, right at home from the beginning. And to me, I'm super excited about this one. This is the one I'm going to spend a lot of time with, because there are a lot of situations where either you want to learn a new trick, or it's a tricky start, a tricky rock start, or a tricky beach start, or you just don't want to be putting in tons of like tries to get your beach start going. This is the one that's like, to me, so easy. Whether you are like me, like you are already advanced and you already know how to do it, or whether you are wanting to learn. In my opinion, if there is one foil where I would recommend you learn pump foiling and you learn dock start, learn beach start, learn rock start, this is the one. Like out there today, I don't see an easier one out there. So this is pretty incredible. And so there is also a 1400, which we really need to talk about it in the same video, because it's like they are pretty close, but yet they are pretty different. So in my opinion, the 1350 is going to be for someone that doesn't have the original 1350, and so they want to jump on something that's like super easy, and that it's going to be their maybe their first foil, or they already went wrong with a foil that's too difficult. They want to go back to something that's really easy. You're going to progress so quickly with this one, and it's quite unique. Like I feel like every other brands moved away from this one with designs that are like more efficient, faster, but they just make it harder. So if you are at the point where you are getting into it, well, you are out of luck because everybody moved on, everybody progressed, and you are left in the dust. This is for you. This is the one that like you're gonna progress so quickly, and that's gonna bring you to the 1400 Leviathan Blackbird. The 1400 is different. The outline is pretty much based on the Leviathan Pro, which was very different than the Leviathan, with a much thinner profile, better glide, better speed. But every time you go in that direction, you are gonna lose a bit of like the easy, user-friendly feature of that foil. So it still remains pretty easy. So, but it's gonna be more efficient. So if you already have the 1350 Leviathan and you were like looking for the next step, in my opinion, there is a bit of a gap between the 1350 Leviathan and the 1360 Leviathan Pro. That bridges that gap exactly. So you can go from 1350 Leviathan to 1400 Leviathan and really have something that's like a good progression that you're not going to struggle with, where from experience going to the 1350 to the 1360 you do struggle a little. So here you're going to feel right at home jumping on this one. You're going to gain just that efficiency at pumping and at speed that you want. If you are now, you know how to pump, you want that next level. So essentially, if you already pump a minute and you just are looking now to increase your pumping time, your pumping distance, you want to get into more like endurance pumping, you're going to want to jump on the 1400 Leviathan Blackbird. But if you are learning, or you already know how to pump but you want to learn new tricks like rock start, like beach start, that maybe the spot where you ride is a bit tricky and a foil like that could be a tiny bit technical, the 1350 is going to be the one that's really making it easy in any conditions. That's why personally I still gonna ride this one a lot, because there are plenty of situations where you just want to get going, pump around and have fun. You don't need the super high performance that comes with a foil that's going to be a bit more technical and that you are going to make a bit more mistakes. Here you can make plenty of mistakes. It's going to save you. When I do my beach start, I literally only take one step, I get on it, I stand, and I'm already gliding from just a tiny push. So this foil is really unique and incredible in that way. So as you can see, the 1400 is a bit more is a bit higher aspect than the 1350, and you can see the outline is actually quite different. This is going to be more for like longer distance endurance without being a difficult foil to ride. So it's a good compromise between high performance and still user friendly. This one is totally user friendly, fun in every way possible. We also need to talk about wing foiling. Those two foils are really incredible for Lightwind winging. Now personally, I like the 1400 a little more for winging, just because with a thinner profile, you have more speed, you have more glide. It's also going to allow you to roll side to side easier, so for maneuver it's going to be better. But if you need extreme lift because you are a big dog or your technique is not necessarily dialed, then the 1350 is going to be the ticket for Lightwind. But yeah, the 1400 is just kind of like that bigger size Leviathan Pro that, like, if you felt like you needed a little more than the 1360 Leviathan Pro, then the 1400 is the one. For me, I feel like with the 1400 Leviathan, I can really ride in any conditions. Something that we do need to talk about is the mast, because it was pretty interesting in a way that, like, when I did beach start, pump around with the Blackbird mast, the 75 Blackbird mast, it just felt really good. I didn't feel any problem with it. It was stiff enough until I tried with the foil scoot off the jet ski. And so getting off the jet ski, I was making a few mistakes, and then with the handlebar, you get a bit more feeling of what's going on under. And so I definitely felt like the Blackbird mast was not as stiff as I was thinking it was when I was pumping on it. So what I would say honestly is, if you are learning or if you are a bigger guy, to me going to the 73P mast is a really good option. Because with a mast like the Blackbird, it's a really good mast. The problem is like, it's hard to have a mast that's going to be really good for smaller foils and also for really big foils. So this one is really good for smaller foils. It's good for bigger foils if you already have the technique in a way that like you're not going to make tons of mistakes, you're not going to push the wrong way. So when everything is in line, this mast is going to handle it perfectly. But when you learn, you make tons of mistakes, you push at the wrong timing, you push in the wrong spot, and so you want something that's going to be really stiff, because the problem is if it's not stiff enough, it's going to absorb your move, it's really going to throw you off balance, it's going to be making it more difficult for yourself. So if you're a bigger guy or learning, go to a 73P. And is it a bummer to go to a thicker mast? Well, when you are learning, you are not necessarily looking for speed, you are not necessarily looking for efficiency, you are looking for control. And so this is what the 73P is going to bring you. Once you get your technique really dialed, you can get a thinner, more efficient mast, that 100%. But to learn, if you are like learning on the foil scoot, if you are learning on the regular burn, pumping, or if you are a bigger guy, get the 73P. In my opinion, it's worth it. So overall, super stoked about those two foils, really. I think I'm going to spend a lot of time on this one because I'm having so much fun with it. And there's plenty of situations where I'm not necessarily looking to pump for a long time or efficiency. I just want something that's going to get me going in any conditions. That would be the one. If you've had a chance to try them both or one of them, make sure to let us know in the comments, because I shared my opinion. It's very valuable that you share yours as well for anyone looking for information that wants to make the right choice. If you're not sure about what to get, you can always drop me a comment, send me a note through the shop, and I can help you personally pick the right gear. It's very important if you are learning, if you want to improve. It makes a world of a difference to have the right gear so you can progress faster. You don't really want to think ahead like, okay, when I can pump a minute, this is what I'm going to want. You got to get what you need at the moment so you can really get there sooner. That's going to save you a lot of headache. I hope this video was helpful. Get out there, have fun, and I will see you guys in the next video.